Welcome to the start of our epic road trip adventure around the Great Lakes. Our first stop was Bethel, New York, the site of the famous Woodstock. In 1969, nearly 500,000 people gathered on Max Yasgur's dairy farm to celebrate 3 days of music, art, peace, love, mud, and rain. On the site in 2008, they opened up a venue called Bethel Woods. There's also a Woodstock Museum. Adult admission was $22 per person, and we opted to also add on the golf cart tour, which was an additional $19.69. The museum and the grounds are a must stop if you're in this area, or go if you're not in the area. The museum displays provided information about the music, culture, protests, and social changes of the times, including the original festival grounds and the monuments outside. The museum was just a perfect mix of Woodstock artifacts and memorabilia, short films, and oral histories that were recorded from attendees. What you're looking at is the hog farm bus. So the hog farm became legendary at Woodstock because they helped run the festival security. They were known as the Please Force. They also provided the free food in the kitchens, any medical help you needed, and if you were having a bad trip, they let you hang out. Crowd calming and peacekeeping. That was their goal. Their buses were colorful, hand-painted hippie buses, which became symbols of the Woodstock counterculture movement. What you're looking at here is a set playlist for the many famous bands. So that was pretty cool to see. All right, it's time to step back in time to 1969. We boarded our golf cart. Our tour guide was amazing. The tour takes you on the stage, but before we got there, we got to drive through the beautiful gardens, and everything is laid out perfectly. So now we're at Bethel Woods venue, and our tour guide explained everything. He even took us up on the stage, showed us the backstage, and then also showed us a dressing room, which was being prepped for Rod Stewart the next night. All right, now we're going back in time. Now we're going to 1969, and we were ready. He said to imagine Joni Mitchell's song Woodstock as we traveled down the windy paths. We made it to the grass, to the field, to the left of where the stage would have been. It was so cool. They have a great monument there. There are a lot of different rocks and notes that people have left behind. There's a peace sign carved into the grass. And it just was surreal. There are actually ashes of many famous artists that have been sprinkled on the grass. And this is a colorized photo of what it looked like. This picture is Filippini Pond. So this is the pond that was famous because a lot of the festival goers ended up there, bathing, cooling off, taking a break, and it became a symbol. That tree that you're seeing is called the message tree. So during Woodstock, people pinned notes, paper plates, signs, and messages to it so friends could find each other. This tree is a sapling from the original tree. Sadly, in 2024, the original tree had to be cut down, but they preserved the saplings. These are some signs and plates that were posted to the tree that they were able to keep. So now we headed off into the woods, back on the golf cart, on the go. And what you're seeing now is where the Bindi Bazaar was located. This is an actual picture. And the cool thing was during the tour, our tour guide would hand us these black and white photos and he'd take us to where these were shot. It just was pretty neat to be able to be there and look at a picture and now you're standing in that spot. But Bindi Bazaar was a place where vendors sold handmade crafts, tie-dye clothing, jewelry, posters, incense, counterculture items that reflected the spirit of the times. And so many people would go in there. It was a communal setting, blending art and commerce and social connection in a way that matched the festival's peace and music. We enjoyed traveling through the woods. The weather was perfect that day. It wasn't too hot, too cold. And again, the tour guide, he just tied everything in for us, which was really cool. The golf cart was a long golf cart, so there were a few of us in there, which was nice. So then he took us back up to the top of the hill. So now we're looking down at the venue. And we had a chance to take a walk on the grass where everything happened. It was it was really moving. It was I can't explain it. It was just something you've got to go. You have to go there and just walk on the grass. And it was pretty neat. Here are some pictures of the signs to give you perspective, message tree, Filippini pond and such. And it was pretty moving as well to hear that a lot of the famous artists had their ashes scattered in different parts of the area. He couldn't tell us where, but just knowing that that happened, that was pretty neat. The surrounding area in that part of New York is very scenic. Lots of mountains, lots of open fields and farms. Well, we were on our way to our hip camp. We stayed at Happy Days Campground in Swan Lake. We car camped there. The site was perfect. It wasn't far at all from the venue, which made it a nice drive afterwards. And we relaxed with a nice fire and dinner. The next day, we headed out. But before we headed out, we wanted to see the actual farmhouse. So we drove to Yasgar Road and took a look around. There's not much to see. The farmhouse is still there, and the Yasgars still hold to this day a small piece of the property. And as you can see, there's the farm. So back on the road again, our next stop was our first Great Lakes, Lake Ontario. But on the way there, we enjoyed the rolling hills, the farms. Lake Ontario is the smallest of the Great Lakes by surface area, but it's still massive and breathtaking, connecting to the Atlantic Ocean through the St. Lawrence River. Its sunsets, cool breeze, and peaceful shoreline make it feel almost unreal at dusk. And we ended up there when the sun was out, but we did go back for the sunset, which was nice. It's just one of those simple moments that turns into a memory you never forget. The Great Lakes road trip was really on our bucket list for a long time. This is a shot of a biplane with more to come in the next video. Thanks for watching.